6'4" setter out of Las Vegas, product of Grand Canyon University, and a block straight down onto the line, but out of bounds, missed it, by just an inch.
Dylan Emery there on the left side, a lefty swinger hitting on the left side, changes up some of those blocking angles. Look for them to take advantage of that matchup as he was able to kind of chisel that ball off the block.
So a 3-1 lead for the Stunners. They go down the line. Move to the outside. Rattray never went over.
Tried to sneak that one cross court again underneath the block of Shane Beamer, but I don't think that ball made it over the net. But obviously relying heavily on Rattray's arm here as we get into this early action.
Easy scouting report if you're the Stunners. You know Rattray is going to be their primary weapon. They go back to Rattray off the block, out of bounds, gets the result.
Interesting to see how much they've gone to him already. Not thrown anything out to Mather, but again, he's leading the lead in kills and hitting percentage, so expect to get a lot of action from his shoulder, and these two teams are ready to go. This is going to be quite a fight.
Rattray's got 6 aces coming into play, but he misses long there. And a side out here for the Stunners that they get the ball out of the hands of the weapon of Rattray. So 5-2 lead here for the Stunners.
Shane Beamer now back to serve, getting ready. Middle blocker for the Stunners. He's going to come with a little jump float hybrid over to Rattray.
That one comes over and annihilated. You put a ball over, and that is the outcome as, woo!
Maxwell wants that one back. He set that ball to the wrong team as Chappell'e was pretty happy to get that overpass and took full advantage of it.
Chappell'e out of LA played at Quincy University in the Midwest, and you got all that one, and the Ramblers smiling. They know they got handcuffed there. Handcuffed again on the serve. Second ace for the OC Stunners. They are out to a quick lead, and very different looking team here so far through 4 sets this weekend after their 0-3 start to the year.
Yeah, coming out of the gates hot. Shane Beamer now he gets the 3rd ace for the Stunners so far in early action here. The ball on right there, so we'll get a replay.
I'll tell you what, I'm surprised with all the other matches going on. It's the first time we've seen a ball from another court come over.
It is, yeah, and you know, it was inevitable. It's going to happen sooner or later. But fortunately, no one was hurt, and it didn't happen during a play. It was just from a serve. So,
well, the official's very quick with the whistle. Player safety of the utmost importance. And that one left short by Beamer. So a 7-3 game early on, and your server will be Antoine Aguillard, the 6'8" Cal State Long Beach product from your backyard.
Yep, lots of time in the pyramid.
Out of bounds, getting the kill in the middle.
Real fast start right now by the Stunners, you know, going off of their namesake, really catching the Ramblers off guard, stunning them, if you will, with their service angles. Probably the little bit of a different lineup that the Ramblers weren't expecting to see, with 2 lefties out on the court with Dylan Emery and Chappell'e, and also Shane Beamer now, you know, the other middle position, and also the new setter, Randy Ramirez, that really coaching staff kind of throwing in a couple wild cards there and catching the Ramblers off guard.
Yeah, as we reach our first technical timeout, if you're Vegas in the spot, you come off high emotions yesterday with that thrilling victory and the already be faced with this kind of a deficit. What was the response you would like to see coming out of this first opportunity for Nick England to have a chance to chat with his guys after seeing what's out there?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely interesting. The Stunners have definitely come out and they're throwing haymakers right from the first whistle, right? So obviously Coach England's got to get his guys to respond, play with a little bit of sense of urgency, celebrate some success, obviously shore up the passing a little bit, right? 3 aces through 8 points is a little bit lopsided, but you know, get their middles involved, spread the offense a little bit as well. So really comes down to pass, 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 and then celebrating some success a little bit.
There you saw head coach Nick England. You saw so much of him on the broadcast this morning. Talk about a guy wearing multiple hats here. 8-3. We'll see if the Stunners can keep this going. Free ball opportunity, and that is the outcome. Absolutely thrown down. Nick Amado, the multiple-time All-American out of Long Beach. Wow. Takes one to know one, I guess.
He's a physical specimen, Nick Amado, and he takes full advantage of that overpass and just throws it down. Unfortunately, Dylan Emery follows it up with a misserve, though.
He's pretty darn amazing in the middle, but he still never broke your record of 16 blocks in a match deep in your career against
I thank him for that all the time,
Marymount.
too. Back in the day when we played side-out scoring and not rally scoring.
As that is hit into the net.
That was a very long match that
night. Ever be broken. 16 blocks.
That was a very long match that night.
I don't know if I had 16 blocks my entire career. You had it in one afternoon. Stunners with the 6-point lead, 10-4. And back to serve will be Chappell'e. Left-handed jumper. Much better pass to go right side and down the line. It is long. As Ryan Mather, another Grand Canyon University product, couldn't connect, and now a 7-point lead for the Stunners.
Great serve from Chris Chappell'e here to kind of keep the momentum on their side. Lefty jump serve from the left side of the court, catches a little tick from the tape there.
Tight off the block, puts it away as Vegas gets the side out it needed.
That's Kevin Lynch. He had a nice swing. He played well yesterday in the Ramblers win. New addition to the squad as well, but going up against a well-formed 3-man block there by the Stunners, and he's able to go high hands out of bounds for the point.
So Lynch with the serve, and he misses wide. And the lead remains 7, 12-5.
It's going to be interesting to see the Ramblers respond here. You know, they got to play within themselves. So a lot of the time when you find yourself down by 6, 7 points so early on, they try to overwork and put too much emphasis on things that they don't normally do, right? Go back to the way that you play, as you see Ryan Schickling come in there for the Ramblers, number 5 in black. Stay within yourself, play together as a team, and see if you can just chip away at this scoreboard action.
And a triple block ultimately shuts down Rattray as a combination of Beamer, the new middle blocker, Antonio Agazola, and I think you also saw a little bit of Randy Ramirez as well, got his hands involved.
Yeah, definitely a 3-man block there. Paying dividends for the Stunners.
Rattray this time is able to connect as Ramirez was just a shad late there.
Just missed that block by Randy Ramirez, went all the way across the court. Nice move, big aggressive swing block, but Rattray is a very experienced outside hitter, and he's very capable of taking care of that ball right there.
First time we get to see Sean Dennis, the 6'11 product out of Laverne, California, and he gets the ace. Valiant effort, by the way. Randy Ramirez slid all the way onto the carpet, nearly took out our camera crew, but an ace for Dennis. How hard is it for a defense through a screen to be able to read the trajectory of a ball off a 6'11 server?
A lot of factors there. You got the full screen in effect there by the players, but also he's a 6'11". He's hitting this ball at probably about 8 feet high. I'm sorry, 10 feet high, 11 feet high, and it's just coming at a different angle on the serve, right?
And a back row attack violation against Dylan Emery as he gets his first swing of the match, and suddenly Vegas has found its way back a little bit within 5. Dennis continuing to serve. Another good serve from Dennis. Ramirez with the set from the back row. Was there a touch? No.
So 2 straight hitting errors by the Stunners there, both out of the back row. Interesting to see Randy Ramirez choose to go back-to-back attempts out of the back row hitters and not maybe trying to feed Shane Beamer or the outside hitter in the front row. Sean Dennis continuing to serve here. It's a nice little run by him.
And the first time we've seen Darrell Adams, the head coach for the Stunners, have his arms crossed. And he gets the answer there as Angazola, the 6'6" product, puts that down. He's listed as an outside, but playing middle here. Well, he was for a second, actually, just for one rotation. Now Beamer's in there again. And Beamer We call his name and he answers. Beamer, Dylan Emery in there as well, but wow.
Stunner's really neutralizing Branden Rattray right now, unfortunately for the Ramblers. But that all starts from the inline. The Ramblers are having a hard time passing, and well-formed block by the Stunners.
Nick West had a big involvement yesterday, but Beamer already showing his presence. That is put away for the side out for the Ramblers.
Yeah, you're seeing some real good depth here from the from the Stunners squad. Having 4 or 5 different players on the court that didn't play yesterday, really changing up the look and catching the Ramblers off guard.
Deep serve, too deep. Another side out, 16-10 your score as we reach our second technical timeout. There you see Tanner Maxwell for Vegas. A little disappointed with himself. What a healthy head of hair he's got.
He's not short on hair, that's for sure. But, the Ramblers, they need to really figure out kind of what they need to do here in terms of sort of turning this around. Down by 6, they've definitely upped their level since the beginning of this game. But, at this point, they need to try to put some pieces together that can create some momentum for their side as we get closer to the end of this set and into game number 2. I'm not sure how they're going to slow down the Stunners. I don't think they have to stop them, but they need to look more at themselves and what they can do better to kind of produce some better volleyball on their side of the court.
You saw both teams yesterday, obviously very familiar with both, Stunners being from Southern California and you and Nick in England having worked together so long. What would you describe the characteristics, the traits of both these teams and, what they bring on the court?
Well, that's a great question, Ira. I mean, as far as the Stunners, this is a bit of a different team than we saw 6 weeks ago. So to really nail down some character, it's hard to say because it's almost a totally different product. So, other than being pretty wowed by how they're playing so far, this is sort of a new squad almost, but they're really making a name for themselves after starting off the season 0-3 a few weeks back.
Oh, that's put away with authority, side out for Vegas.
Anton Aguilar there with a nice kill with Maxwell throwing it into him. Ramblers will need more of that action through the middle, and they've got to get Ryan Mather activated, their opposite hitter. He's been pretty quiet so far.
Ramirez goes right side. One-handed dig by Rattray from the right side. The roll. I thought that hit the floor. They say play on. And a double contact called. I think they blatantly missed that one.
I would agree with you, Ira. We both had a pretty good angle on that one, but unfortunately, we don't have whistles on, so we can't stop the play there.
Well,
bad break for the Ramblers.
Yeah, I was going to say credit the dig to Jake Hurwitz. Haven't said his name yet. The former All-American Division III product out of UC Santa Cruz. The Banana Slugs with the dig. Dug up by the Stunners. They go back on the right side. Emery. Here's a chance. Roll shot. Double contact off of Emery as Ryan Schickling, second opportunity connects.
Unfortunate play there by Emery as he his block move, it kind of rattled around his hands and then hit his shoulder as he was trying to get out of the way. But give Ryan Schickling credit for that kill as he's contributing, getting subbed in here through this first set.
Yeah, first time we've said his name back-to-back swings. Good pass. They go quickly in the middle to Amado for the winner.
Another thing about the Stunners, their offense is very well-rounded. We're seeing a very seamless transition from the team that played yesterday to the personnel that's on the court right now. So Emery jump floats over, pass by Schickling. Here's Mather.
Right
he
side,
gets stuffed down by
back.
Chappell'e, but
no, that you
we
can't
got a
hear the
lift
whistle.
call.
It's so loud in here. But Ramirez and Amado both connecting on the block. That is the third block for each. And we will see Dylan Emery, the 6'5" opposite out of Fountain Valley, California, serving. 19-12. Roll shot perfectly placed. So Ryan Schickling with his second kill. But still a huge uphill battle for the Ramblers in game number 1. It's our 8th match of 15 this weekend. Off the tape as it knocks Ngizola to the floor. No way they're going to save that one. And a kill for the Stunners.
Just a high level of action by the Stunners, playing defense, transitioning balls, really crushing, their serves and putting from very first play of this game, the Ramblers on their heels. I'm a little bit speechless as what we're seeing right now because the level from one side is just so much higher than the other.
Well, Rattray and Schickling discussing the service scheme in the back row as the ball comes right to Rattray. And dug up, what a dig there by Hurwitz. From the back row, slotting it through for the kill is Dylan Emery.
Credit to Hurwitz with that scoop. I mean, that was Sean Dennis, the 6'11" middle blocker, got on that ball, and Hurwitz just with the reaction and the stab gets that ball up in the air, and Emery with the kill in transition. The Stunners can really do no wrong right now.
And serving will be Chappell'e. They are 4 points away from the set. Collected off the net by Maxwell and Schickling with his 3rd kill.
Good swing there by Ryan Schickling, a little out-of-system play, and he's able to go high hands and out of bounds for the point. Now his chance to serve from the inline here.
Still a 7-point lead. Schickling serving. Little jump float in the middle. Amado, another.
Ramblers are going to have to continue to put pressure on the Stunners from the inline because right now the passing of the Stunners is so good that it's giving their setter, Randy Ramirez, any option to set at any point, whether it's both middles, a back row pick, an overhead back set, or even a go to the pin. So really firing on all cylinders.
Amado drops in the serve. They go outside. Rattray gets it. Oh, and you see the emotion there from Randy Ramirez. He wanted that one. He's frustrated. That is a high velocity swing though from Rattray. Nothing wrong with getting a touch and not getting the solo stuff against a player like him.
Setters love getting big blocks against the big outside hitters.
Now speaking of big players, here's the 6'11" Dennis, leaves it short. 23-15 is your score. And Ramirez, he'll drop back. The Stunners looking for their 4th straight set victory to open the weekend. That's too deep. Obviously, if they continue with these 3-0 victories, not only are they, getting the win, which is your paramount, that's what you're trying to do here, but you get the points and you deny the other team the points.
Yeah,
will help
that's
their cause.
Using that FIVB point scoring accumulation system that we're using here for our rankings, other than just the win-loss category. If you win in 3 games, your team gains 3 points, right? And the losing team gains 0 points. So huge advantage for that season-long point accumulation going into our final event as the playoff event here for the NVA season.
Antonio Ngizola, after the kill, he will serve for the set. Won't happen here, but this is likely insurmountable for the Ramblers in our first set. It's 24-17, so only a matter of time unless Branden Rattray has some kind of incredible answer in his arm as he goes back to serve.
Well, you never know. At this point, he needs to get his arm going for game number 2 with his service.
He had a big serve there, but a better answer from Shane Beamer, who delivers with the kill. That's his 3rd. And the OC Stunners, well, maybe a little bit of a stunning result based on the score as they win 25-17 in our opening game.
Ira, we started this match at 2:20 local time, if I'm correct. It's 2:45. That was a 25-minute game. That happened really, really fast. I love the tempo, but the quality of volleyball being played right there in that match was really eye-opening in terms of how the Stunners started right out of the gate. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but I mean, wow. 2 straight aces, I think a 4-1 start, just really, really a great start by the Stunners. And the Ramblers, I mean, they struggled out of the gate.
Yeah, and they looked so good yesterday. Everything was clicking for them in a match where they were probably put together with Utah, arguably the best team in the league, and Vegas found an answer yesterday. You would imagine that a team with this much talent, well coached by Nick England, is going to come out here with a different look, a better resolve maybe in game number 2.
Yeah, they definitely have the personnel to make the appropriate changes, right? And yesterday we did see them beat the Stingers. Stingers, maybe not at full strength, but not to take anything away from that victory. Every victory is a hard-fought win here within the NBA. But the Ramblers do need to figure out something. They obviously got to start stronger than that, Matt, that first game. And they know what they're going to get now from the Stunners. They've seen the changes that they've made. They kind of know what to expect. So the Ramblers really are going to have to look at themselves in the mirror a little bit and say, okay, well, it's time for us to step up now and kind of come back with a little bit more intensity and sense of urgency.
Well, you yourself, obviously a former middle, have to be impressed with what you've seen from the pair of Amado and Beamer so far in game number 1 for the Stunners. Both of them have not only done their job in the blocking scheme and really helped to frustrate Rattray and the rest of the Las Vegas lineup, but my God, they are both getting involved in big ways offensively.
Yeah, we didn't see Shane Beamer play yesterday because Nick West was playing number 9 right there in black, but Shane Beamer coming in and making a huge impact. Having him as your third middle is still pretty good. He's probably a number 1 middle on some of these other teams in the league, and then having Nick Amado as well, just in charge of the middle blocker core. I mean, you've got, and their block and defense, you saw him take care of those overpasses. You saw him offensively just all over the place, jumping well, extremely physical. Had a little bit of an injury in that first event a few weeks back, but you would never be able to tell by the way he's playing today. So I don't expect to see that change, especially if the Ramblers can't step up their service games, because the passing from the Stunners has just been on point from the liberos and also their outside hitters.
Now that passing's been led by Jake Hurwitz. The 5'10 libero has really led that defensive charge in our first game. Darrell Adams' squad has a 1-0 lead, and it's not the score, the 1-0 lead that surprised me. It was the score. It was that margin. They were in control from the first serve, and I'll tell you what, if they can continue this kind of a tempo, Matt, they're going to be a very difficult team to defeat at all the rest of this year.
Well, yeah, not just the Ramblers, but the entire NBA is going to have their hands full with figuring out how to sort of prepare and, put up a good fight against these OC Stunners, because right now they're showing some serious depth from their bench, and they're playing at an extremely high level right out of the gate with their service game has been very aggressive and consistent. They didn't miss a lot of serves there until maybe the end of the game, where I think they missed 2 straight after a few, but offensively and just with the depth. I mean, you've got over there, I'm looking at the bench, you've got Corey Chavers. He's an All-American at UC Santa Barbara, played overseas. You've got Nick West. He was an All-American at Hawaii. He's played overseas. You've got Jair. He's a 6'10 opposite. You've got Joey Jarvis, the Canadian outside hitter. All these guys, the new setter Demi here, who just won that match yesterday. He's not even playing right now. So you got some serious depth on the Stunners side that just makes this team that much more dangerous.
Obviously, it should be noted that the win for Vegas yesterday was without, over Utah, was without their best player, Jake Langlois, who did not make the trip. So don't know how much that factored into the result, but
Jake Langlois is a 6'10 outside hitter from BYU. He's played with the national team for quite some time. He was part of the team that I believe won the World Cup not too long ago. He's been in the USA gym for quite some time and played professionally overseas. So that's a big key that the Stingers were missing yesterday. But, don't take anything away from that. The Stingers are still a good team, obviously. They won the tournament back in November up in Salt Lake City, and the Ramblers were just able to pull that one out. So.
And, of course, the Stunners were the runner-up for the last championship, as that is too deep. They couldn't save it. And the first point goes to Vegas. So we're underway here in set number 2. Ira Thor alongside Matt Prosser live from Harrah's here in Atlantic City, as that is too long. It's ironic, we're in a Harrah's here in Atlantic City. They have a Harrah's in Vegas as well.
Yeah, it's a great place to be, and obviously we're extremely excited to be here and playing in such a great venue over this weekend, especially with the weather so bad outside. Everybody in here.
Wouldn't want to be on the beach today, that is for sure, as Ryan Schickling delivers. That's his 4th kill off the bench.
Yeah, good contribution from the Orange County product. Ryan Schickling, grown up in Laguna Niguel area of Southern California, played his high school at San Juan Hills High School and went on to play some college ball at UC San Diego. But good quality outside hitter off the bench by him.
Sends it deep. They go right side. That is collected by Rattray. Roll shot, and somehow saving it and sending it over was Hurwitz. They go right side, Rattray for the annihilation, and maybe that will be enough to get Vegas going.
So Rattray with a nice transition kill on the right there. We did see, looks like 2 personnel changes there for the Ramblers. We've got number 9, Stephen Duho, taking over the setting duties for the Ramblers as Tanner Maxwell is standing over there by Nick England. We saw that used yesterday for a little bit against that win, in that win against the Stingers. And also we see number 3, that's Max Osmondson, the outside hitter there for the Ramblers as well, currently at left front.
No chance there for the Stunners to save it. Anyway, it's a double touch, so it wouldn't matter. And look at this turn of events, folks. 4-1, Vegas on top.
Anyone that's ever watched volleyball knows that this is a game of runs, Ira, and momentum. And right now, Ramblers are on a run, and they have the momentum.
Schickling, foot fault.
And I jinxed it. There goes that run.
Hey, he had a good streak there behind the service line. Schickling's been a valuable addition to this lineup. 4-2 lead, and your server will be Antonio Angizola. Schickling with the pass. They send it over on 2, collected by Ramirez. And I don't know if that was going to be in or out. They had to make a play. Sent deep, and that's going to be a kill into the official.
Well, unorthodox play there by Max Osmondson, the opposite hitter for the Stunners, replacing Ryan Mather, but able to get it done. Kind of, it doesn't have to be pretty all the time as long as you score the point for your squad and move on to the next one.
Osmondson, 6'3", Vegas native, played his ball at Hope International University. The lead is 5-2, and he missed it wide. And the Stunners are making mistakes, Matt, for the first time.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise to see him come around and miss that one just wide. Might have been a touch late as that pass got pushed over towards the left side of the court. But here's Antoine with his jump float serve. Pass by Chappell'e.
Ramirez, and he misses on that one as that sails out of play. A rare service error. And a timeout is called here by Darrell Adams, the head coach for OC.
Interesting turn of events all of a sudden. Now it's 7-2 in favor of the Ramblers, 1 point away from the technical timeout. So whatever Coach Adams wants to say to his team, he is taking full advantage of that right now, as you see him sort of trying to right the ship and talk about getting his arms out, maybe passing the ball a little bit better, staying low, covering our hitters.
Obviously, you said the technical timeout coming. Coach Adams certainly wants to get to this technical timeout down by 4 rather than down by 6, and that's what's on the line here. Is these two teams truly battling for a position. The Ramblers, maybe a little bit of surprise yesterday, even with a shorthanded Utah squad, coming up with that W, remaining the one of only 2 undefeated teams remaining in the league, along with the local product team Freedom. We'll see them later tonight.
Yeah, hopefully get another big hometown crowd for that match as well.
And as a timeout, that was well taken as Beamer comes through.
Great to see Ramirez go right back to Beamer for a repeat after he missed that last attack, and now getting a second back-to-back attempt for that kill, just to kind of gain that confidence back in the connection between the two.
So Beamer will serve. Good one there. Block back in the middle. Dennis keeps it alive. Schickling covered by the Stunners, and it will fall in for the winner by Dylan Emery.
Stunners kind of manufacturing a couple of points here, winning these longer rallies. And they've cut it to 3, have the Stunners.
Still haven't reached that technical timeout yet. And we will now, as an 8-4 lead, send us to timeout number 1 here. For Vegas, you know, Rattray has carried them so much, at least yesterday, and he's got the most touches so far offensively in our first set today, but they are starting to see others come alive, and I think Ryan Schickling, his addition here can't be understated, the former UC San Diego player. You got to have somebody else, one of your pin hitters who's able to come through and be reliable, and it can't be, Rattray obviously potential MVP of the league, but there's got to be other answers.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Ira. I mean, you have your big guns, right? You've got your Branden Rattrays, you've got Ryan Mathers, but when they're not feeling it, or, you know, the other team's keyed in on them, you got to have some role players that are available that can come in off the bench or, you know, make those contributions to really help the squad and right the ship. We've been saying it quite a bit over the weekend. You know, when your number gets called, you got to be ready to come in at any point. Doesn't matter if you're warm, cold, hungry, or, you know, full, but you just got to be ready to go and make a difference. And I think Ryan Schickling's done that for the Ramblers, as now we see Rattray's service attempt.
Rattray, a big serve there off of the timeout. And getting the result is Chappell'e.
Good side out by Chappell'e there. Ramblers block and defense just kind of struggling a little bit to get shoulder to shoulder. You've got Duho, looking to be about 6'2", and a 6'11" middle blocker in Sean Dennis. So a little bit of a, you know, difference in height there on the blocking side for the Ramblers.
8-5 is your score. Emery, and it's coming through is Dennis, Sean Dennis, his first time we've called his name with the kill. And the side out right back to Vegas.
Yeah, Sean Dennis, 6'11" middle blocker. Got a little paintbrush action on that one, a little backspin as it went deep into the court, but a point nonetheless.
Joust at the net. Once again, did I see a touch? No.
Nobody sees a touch. No one in black. Well, on the referee team, that is. Everyone's wearing black in this match. No referee saw that touch, so that ball's out of bounds. I think Coach Adams was the only one that saw a touch.
Deep float, well passed by Chappell'e, and this time Amado does indeed get the touch.
I think there's some confusion going on here. I thought both teams confused here. Up ref called a touch.
There was no doubt about it. There was definitely a touch there. That one I saw plain as day. The Ramblers do disagree.
So touch off the block. Point goes to the Ramblers. I'm sorry, the Stunners off the Nick Amado kill. Can't quite see our scoreboard over there. But.
So the score is 10-6. And the Stunners, well, they're trying to stay close here. Chappell'e to serve. Knocks the libero to the ground. Rattray. Too long.
Rattray in disbelief that he missed that one. I think he thought he caught the line, but that set height was maybe just a touch low.
It's a pretty good pass by Ryan Manugian, who was, you saw the momentum of that serve just carry him over the end line. Chappell'e misses that one. So Dennis will go back to serve. He's already had an ace. Got one kill along with that. 10-7. I'm sorry, 11-7 is your score. In the middle, Amado blocked back. Picked up by Hurwitz. Another chance for the Stunners, just gonna send it over to keep it alive. Rattray swings away. What a save there by Chappell'e and Ramirez, and it finds, no, doesn't find the back line, it's out of play. Good effort defensively there for the Stunners.
Great rally on both sides. Unfortunately, Emery just missing that transition kill out long through the inline, but give credit to the Ramblers with a strong transition attempt on their side as well.
12-7 your score. down the line. Dennis misses wide. And he went for it. He saw that back corner open and just missed it by a foot.
Yeah, I think he was going towards the line-to-line serve, but just gave it a little bit too much English as it kind of sailed away and sliced out of bounds.
Nick English. As put down and goes. Oh my God, it lands on the line.
Wow.
I was gonna say Nick England doesn't like that English. He's not gonna like that spot either. That could not have gotten any better for the Stunners.
What a dig kill for Dylan Emery. The one-handed stab that finds the last 6 inches of the court for the point.
They go to the outside, and that one time in the rotation, Ryan Schickling comes through in that spot, his 5th kill.
Yeah, Schickling responds nicely with a strong cross-court winner.
And that's certainly big when the one time you're in system over there is actually, I take it back. Schickling, I had him as the right side early on, and him and Rattray to switch back, unless I misread before. I may, yeah, it is Schickling now on the outside. Either way, 14-10 is your score, as the Stunners will see if they can draw a little bit closer.
Here's Randy Ramirez.
So many guys involved with the server seat. Now Schickling is back to the right side, and he gets the winner.
So that was the one rotation where the outside hitter, Ryan Schickling, is hitting in serve reception on the right side of the court. He's in that 0-1 outside hitter position, right? Branden Rattray is now playing opposite the setter, so he's going to be traditionally more hitting from the right side. That was the adjustment that Coach England made as Ryan Schickling misses his jump float serve. But the changes that Nick England made there is they put Schickling in and outside, almost a double sub type situation. Got Max Osmondson as the other outside, and also now you have Branden Rattray as the true opposite for the Ramblers.
And I'm glad you picked that up, because I even got confused by who got slotted and where. You know, we're so used to seeing Rattray swinging from the other side. He's been so successful. We'll see what this change does. Well, that nearly falls in. Hurwitz picks it up, and then the kill for the Stunners draws them within 3.
Yeah, the Ramblers having a hard time getting that first option kill, right? So give credit to the Stunners block. A lot of these hitting attempts from the Ramblers are getting deflected. They're getting slowed down. You're not seeing Ramblers getting clean kills on the Stunners, right? The Stunners are controlling it and then either transitioning it or just throwing the ball over. And there you see another ace by the Stunners.
Wow, well, that's a clean ace. That's for sure. As Angizola, wow, just unloading there, and what looked like a comfortable lead for Vegas is anything but. It's now only 2.
I don't know if there's anything such as a comfortable lead in this game, let alone this league. We see guys come back all the time.
They go to the outside, and that's going to be off the ceiling. Credit the kill, as Vegas gets a much-needed side out to take us to a technical timeout.
Yeah, nice swing by Max Osmondson there. Found probably Shane Beamer's head, I think, as that ball kind of careened out of bounds and went up into the rafters and out of play. Not a bad swing by the 6'3", 6'2", outside hitter Max Osmondson.
We probably have about 40 feet of ceiling space here. You know, pretty big for a ballroom, and to see the ball reach the rafters, the ceiling tiles, just shows off the block just the power that can be generated from some of these guys. Even if they're in that spot, not looking to put it away, you could tell just by how he's swinging it, he's trying to tool the block.
Yeah, you know, there's some serious power, velocity going, being generated from these professional men's volleyball players that if you haven't seen it in person, it's really something to take a quality look at. I mean, the level of volleyball that's being played here is some of the highest in the country. If you haven't gotten a chance to see our national team play or any of these guys that do play overseas, it's like college volleyball, but just one step higher, right? And these guys are flying through the back row, super athletic, super powerful, the technique, in order to absorb a jump serve from these guys as a passer, the techniques involved with these things and the speed of the game, it's extremely fluid. It's fun to watch. It's not something that we get to see very often in the United States, and it's just something that's great to be a part of.
You obviously played the game on the professional level on the beach, former member of the AVP Tour, and I'll tell you for myself, being able to see as that is put away by the Stunners, to be able to see this in person rather than watching on video, and if you're on the East Coast, you don't get too many opportunities to see it live. You want to take it in because it absolutely is something to appreciate.
Yeah, I played college volleyball back in the late 90s with the white ball and side-out scoring, and the tempo of those games was much different than the standard that is now men's indoor volleyball.
And Dennis gets the result. Wanting that one back was Angizola, as he had his hands ready but just couldn't get the dig. And yeah, I remember playing with that same white ball, and I don't miss that particular ball. No. I really like the variations now that they have this beautiful ball here that we're playing with. And that will not stay on the court. Credit to Kill, as the Stunners back within 2.
It's a great side out by the Stunners. That was a huge jump serve by Rattray. And the Stunners able to just fend it off. Chappell'e getting a nice swing and able to tool the ball off of the block of the Ramblers.
Well, here's Dylan Emery to serve. Free ball opportunity, Chappell'e with the highlight.
Yeah, the passing of the Ramblers, I think that's the third, maybe fourth overpass so far in this match that is just starting to pile up and really causing some pain on the Ramblers' side. It's trying to understand the serve reception here from the Stunners serving game.
That's got to be frustrating. Oh, that was a low line drive. Blocked back. They get it done. Combo block by Amado and Ramirez, and we're all square at 17.
Yeah, they fought their way back behind the blocking and the out-of-system siding out, but really serving tough from the inline, right? That's gotten some points and generated some opportunities for those blocks to get back down onto the floor for the Stunners.
Dylan Emery, the Orange Coast College product, he has served so well that Rattray finally has the answer coming from the back row as he puts it away.
Ramblers needed that side out. Up by 1 here as we get to the kind of second half of game number 2, trying to even this match up right now. Here's Max Osmundson's serve.
Can the Stunners answer? Yes, they can. Another put away for Chappell'e.
And it's hard for the Ramblers' block and defense to get any kind of momentum or mojo going because the Stunners are just purely passing the ball too well. They're running a full steam offense at them, 5 hitters every single time, and you have to respect those hitters, and you can't just leave them out there. And you're seeing a lot of one-on-one matchups, and you've got Steven Duho blocking against Chappell'e. I think Chappell'e's going to win that battle most of the time.
Real tough serve by Chappell'e. Free ball opportunity coming this way. Put away. I believe it was it Ramirez who hit that? Yes, I think it was.
Yep, Ramirez taking advantage of the overset from, I think, the non-setter of the Ramblers. And the Stunners have their first lead of this second set now, 19 serving 18.
Yeah, I lost the view as I was trying to protect the equipment. 19-18, and answering it is Sean Dennis, the former anteater, puts it away, and we're even at 19, and of course he'll get the serve.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to stop. That was high and deep into the corner, a well-placed hit by Sean. Ramblers are going to need to see him produce more of those as this match continues.
Good pass by Hurwitz, and poking it over is Amado. One more chance. Amado got the touch. Can they run it down? Oh, off of the wall. Great effort there by Sean Dennis, but a side out and a kill here, 20-19 for the Stunners.
Yeah, great effort there by the 6'11" middle blocker, Sean Dennis, running all the way back, trying to keep that ball in play and sell out for his teammates.
So Nick Amado out of Aliso Viejo, California, he serves. Oh, Rattray with the answer, 20 all.
Nice back row attack by Rattray there. going cross court for the winner. I think the Stunners block got hung up a little bit.
So University of Hawaii product Stephen Duho. The setter will serve. Serves it deep. Ramirez goes to the back row as Emery couldn't get the result, but Rattray misses long.
Yeah, Rattray just found himself a little bit underneath that set, kind of overran it on his approach, and whenever you overrun your approach and you're under the ball, it's going to get harder and harder to find the court. Unfortunately, that one just goes out of bounds long.
That's one he'll want back. Ramirez dumps it in. Different look. Outside Rattray again misses short, and he has gone cold.
Yeah, not usual to see back-to-back hitting errors by Branden Rattray there, but you know, he's a professional. He'll figure it out. I'm sure they're going to rely on him some more, so he's going to get some more opportunities for sure.
Well, definitely need to figure it out soon, because 2-point lead here. The Stunners could potentially have a commanding lead in the match. What a pickup by Hurwitz. They send it over to keep it alive. In the middle, getting the touch on the swing. And you saw the result as Antoine Aguillard, the 6'8" Long Beach product, a much needed side out. So here is Ryan Schickling trying to tie it. It's a 1-point lead, 22-21. Hurwitz, good platform pass, and getting the kill off of were the Stunners.
I don't know if Dylan Emery meant to hit the ball like that, kind of gave it a little knuckleball action, which kind of caught Ryan Schickling off guard up high a little bit, and couldn't make the adjustment as that one goes off his arms and out of bounds.
Yeah, he'll be happy with the result. Antonio Agazola at a Chirquois, Panama. Big swing. And Rattray with the answer.
Nice tempo play there, in-system tempo back set to Rattray as he goes cross-court again. That connection with Stephen Duho really kind of coming to fruition there.
So can Aguillard tie it? It's a 1-point lead for the Stunners off of the tape. Good pass by Chappell'e and a kill in the middle, and it is set point for the Stunners. As Shane Beamer delivers, I believe that's his 5th kill. And set point, Beamer will serve. To try to take a commanding 2-0 lead in the match. Oh. And that's going to be saved and sent over. And that will fall in. The kill by Chris Chappell'e, and the Stunners, well, they have battled back, and they take a 2-0 lead in the match, winning the set 25-22.
Wow, just really living up to their namesake, the Stunners coming out of the gates and stunning the Ramblers, now up 2-0. Ramblers came out of that second set nice. They responded nicely. They created a nice little lead for their own selves there, but Stunners never giving up, serving hard, being aggressive with their attack lines, and their block and defense has been great. Came back and won that set.
There you see the team switching sides. Sean Dennis emotionless as he walks back to the Ramblers sideline here. And from what you've seen so far, what answer does Vegas have in them if they're able to battle back? Rattray has been a little inconsistent, but still demonstrating the power it carried them yesterday. The Stunners have just had so many possible answers.
Well, I think you got to have Ryan Mather on the court. 6'8", opposite hitter. He was the opposite all-tournament selection from the November tournament we had up in Salt Lake City. From a physicality standpoint, you need him on the court to be a good blocker, and you need him to clean up some of those out-of-system plays as the opposite does, right? Other than that, you got to keep activating their middle, Sean Dennis and Antoine. You got to get those guys the ball. Stephen Duho's done a pretty good job of feeding those guys so far, but really I need to see some sense of urgency again from the Ramblers, but I think I need to see Ryan Mather come into this game and really make a difference now.
Obviously, the strength for this Ramblers squad certainly comes in their pin hitters, but I believe you need to get Dennis and others involved. Particularly, get that middle offense going and allow your pins to have a little bit more opportunity to swing. You know, one thing the Stunners have done so well is that they've gotten touches on everything thus far.
Yeah, we talked about it in that game a little bit. The blocking of the Stunners have really been a huge difference in this game that's really negated the Ramblers offense. And it's gotten to the point where the Ramblers are scrambling, trying to figure out, you know, who are we going to set the ball to and how are they going to get the kill, because the block and defense of the Stunners has really dominated this whole match so far.
The middles, Amado has helped carry the weight. Beamer's had a great match thus far. They've really been the one to set the pace. Meanwhile, for OC, the Stunners look like they're a team that is going to be a force to be reckoned with, not only the rest of this weekend, throughout the rest of this season.
Yeah, they're definitely asserting themselves as one of the favorites now in the National Volleyball Association after that first weekend going 0-3 and then making some serious personnel changes and bringing in some new players and new faces, especially even from yesterday's match to this match. You see 4 or 5 guys that didn't play yesterday, they're playing now, and here we are, you know, with the possibility of another 3-game sweep. So, yeah, they're making some noise and making everybody aware that the Stunners are here, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with throughout this season.
It's quite impressive how fast things can change in a short season.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, you know, the rosters are locked, but they made some key moves, and they're really showing off their depth, like we've touched on throughout this broadcast and this match. And, yeah, they're gonna cause some – they're going to pull off some stunners, I think.
That's a pretty good analogy right there. I like how you used the name to the advantage. I'll tell you what, from what I've seen so far, and this is the first time I've seen these teams live, I don't see any reason with the changes they've made that they cannot be a team that wins it this year. I think the Freedom were tested yesterday for the first time, something they really had not been through their first 3 matches of the season, and it took 5, but they came out in flying colors, and be interesting to see how they respond later tonight against Utah. But as we see the youth serving here for prizes, for t-shirts, I love this. We saw it a little bit in our second match in between the second and third set. The youth players, the juniors all serving to try to.
This is great to get everybody involved. I mean, there's so many people here in this gym. There's a juniors tournament going on. There's an adult AA tournament going on, and just getting, you know, all the people involved for a little serve and chase game. You know, hit the t-shirt, get an NVA t-shirt, take it home, you know, wear it proudly, kind of spread the word a little bit of how great the environment is here for the spectators and some high-level volleyball. It's just great to see again after such a long kind of time off.
What a great panoramic shot by our crew. You could see this ballroom that, quite frankly, in a normal year may have been filled with conventions and, you know, everything you expect to see down here in Atlantic City, maybe even a really big wedding, but I don't think any wedding is quite that big. But you see the 360 there, all the tournaments going on. There's actually action going on above us as well. So it's not just down here on the ground floor. All the youth having an opportunity to not only play here in this amazing venue and environment, but also to see the game being played at the highest possible level. It's a gift.
Well, professional men's volleyball here in the United States is something that is long overdue. It's very exciting to see a league like the National Volleyball Association, you know, develop and invest the opportunities for these players to not go overseas and to be able to play here in the United States as well, and then bring it to the people around the country, but also around the world. I mean, being streamed live on the internet just makes it available and accessible to every volleyball fan out there. And, you know, as the NBA continues to grow and bring on new teams and take our tournaments around and our events to other sites around the country, it's just really exciting to be involved in. As a longtime volleyball player myself, I wish I could be playing as well, but I'm happy and honored to be involved in the capacity that I am, and it's just great to see a professional men's indoor league taking off in the United States, finally.
Didn't have anything like this when you were coming out of Long Beach, and you know, fortunately for yourself, was able to convert that into a really successful beach career. You finished as high, I believe, as second on the AVP. You know, I make sure I get to know my partners when I work with them for the first time, but you had a lot of success out on the sand. But now the players certainly will have a chance to have similar success domestically inside.
Yeah, it's something for younger players to see too, that they can work towards doing, and I appreciate you doing your homework and But yeah, I wish I could have had the opportunity to professionally play indoors after college as well, domestically instead of going overseas, before going out to the beach.
Where did you play overseas?
I got to play one season in a little town called Maribor, Slovenia.
We had some visitors over. Hello. As the whole team comes over to collect their players. It's a 1-1 game. So you played in Slovenia, and what made you, decide to then make that switch over to the sand?
It was 2004, 2005. I had shoulder surgery right after college, so the opportunity to go play in Europe was definitely something I wanted to at least test the waters with, and it wasn't quite for me, so I came home and continued back coaching, and that's when I really turned my focus toward playing on the beach, and was able to do that for about 10 to 12 years afterwards. So.
And now able to make great contributions here in the broadcast booth. Privileged to be with you here as we bring you set number 3 live from Harrah's. The Stunners did take the first 2 in quite stunning fashion, and we'll see if Branden Rattray can do something about it. He misses the serve. Can Branden Rattray get more involved? Clearly, if you're the Stunners, you know he's their primary option.
Yeah, you got to get him. You got to beg him. It's not that he's not playing hard. Branden plays hard every time he steps on the court, but he just might be a little bit off in terms of offense and his serve game.
Wow, talk about gifts. Off of the tape, lands right on the line, and the ace by Beamer. And a 3-2 lead for the Stunners early on.
One of those situations that we wish we had instant replay to see where that ball hit, but can't get much better than that with a little hometown bounce off the tape.
We couldn't see it from our vantage point because obviously the up official right blocking that, but you saw the reaction from the players as that is put away, and we're even at 3-3.
So in between games now, we do see that Ryan Mather has gone back in for the Ramblers, number 14, playing opposite for them. So look for him to hopefully contribute on the block and defense side and offensively as well.
Well, immediately gets a touch there, another touch, so his reemergence hopefully will help Las Vegas. However, that is left short, a rare misfire by Schickling. And he hangs his head, he knows he missed an opportunity there. He's clenching his teeth in the back row as he prepares for this serve from Dylan Emery. And it finds Schickling, of course it does.
Great serve by Dylan there to go down the line. You've got Sean Dennis, who's kind of stacked over at left front. He needs to get into the court, but a better serve from Emery and pins Sean and also catches Schickling maybe lean in the wrong direction.
Is that by design? A player just had a misfire offensively and you go after them in serve receive?
I would have told Dylan to serve him for sure after a hitting error like that. I think you always like to go back to the guy if you just made an error and test his kind of resolve, and I think unfortunately for Ryan, he got aced following that one too.
The Stunners have the lead. Vegas with the side out. A big time serve by Mather and an answer for the Stunners.
Yeah, big serve from Ryan Mather, but the Stunners say what else? That was too easy, and a perfect pass as Nick Amado comes flying out of the middle and getting a strong kill for the Stunners.
By my math, that is now 5 kills from the middle for both Amado and Beamer. And a 6-4 lead. And an ace. Oh, bringing it was Chappell'e.
You know, Chappell'e being a lefty, he's jump serving from the left back area of the service line. Okay, so he's going corner to corner, but almost as a reverse curl to his serve. I've had the pleasure of passing some of these balls from a left-handed server sometimes on the beach, and it is a different trajectory that you don't often see when you're practicing. And Chappell'e's got a good jump serve going here.
Oh, ball's on the court from another court, so they blow the whistle. We have barriers everywhere, but you know, sometimes a ball finds its way to snake through. 7-4 lead, Chappell'e to serve again. Well, that time leaves it short. But he got the one. It's 7-5, 2-point lead.
Yeah, unfortunate turn of events there with the ball coming on and then missing his next serve. Almost maybe turn it down a little bit and just try to spin it in. And regroup and maybe try to go on another little mini run there from the service line.
Great camera work. You see Ryan Schickling in his approach. And put away. Big swing from the Panamanian. Antonio Angizola takes us to our first technical timeout.
Yeah, good contributions from Antonio, the 6'6" outside hitter from Panama. He's making some good contributions from the left side. He's passing the ball really well. I don't think he's got a lot of statistical impacts in terms of how many kills he's gotten or points he's scored, but you know, you can't put a score on great passing, and I think that's really where his big contribution's coming from. And then from the inline, I know he did get an ace or two so far through this match as well. So Ramblers on their side, they're kind of struggling. You don't see a lot of talking going on over there. Just kind of let everybody air it out, kind of create some kind of sense of urgency and, you know, make sure everyone's together. We've still got a long way to go here in this third game, though, Ira.
Well, if there's one team that maybe has been the biggest surprise so far through the first 8 matches, it has been the Stunners. Obviously, the makeover of the team, as has been noted earlier in the broadcast, they were decimated by injuries the first time around, and you know, certainly that was a big part of the outcome the first series of the year. And that was also in San Bernardino, correct?
That's correct, yeah. It was about 6 weeks ago in L.A. A couple guys got injured. But let's also give some credit to Coach Adams. He was not involved with the squad during that first event. He came in, he's been with the team for about 2 weeks, and you can tell, you can see his strategies and techniques kind of coming into play as well, creating the characteristics of the Stunners team, this new look Stunners team this weekend.
Amazing the difference of a good coach. As that is dug up by Chappell'e. Does it go over? It does, but it doesn't land in bounds as everybody backed off, watching that one to see if perhaps it would catch a line.
Good communication, making sure no one played a ball that was going out of bounds.
Communication so key in volleyball, and even more so key right now where there's so much background noise with other matches going on.
Yeah, yesterday this gym was a little bit more quiet, other than the fans and spectators, you know, celebrating some good volleyball. But we've got a lot of whistles going on today, other games going on with the tournaments here. So there is some sideline noise going on as well.
We had about 500 fans on hand last night when the home team, Team Freedom, took on the LA Blaze, but we're going to have more than that today because now you have built-in automatic fans with all the junior college and, I'm sorry, the juniors and the college players playing in these AA tournaments. So we're going to see this place packed later.
Looking forward to it. Should be a good one tonight.
It's really nice, by the way, to see so many local college players who aren't professionals and may never get to the professional level, but that I have seen come up through their careers playing this weekend. And
yeah,
you know, it's been hard to get out of the ballroom to go get something to drink because there's so many people stopping, wanting to talk to you. It's obviously a great feeling. You're thrilled to have it happen, but there's so many people who've come down. There's not much else to do outside, so everybody's going to be inside because the weather is awful here in AC.
Yeah, it was a great setting last night.
Hurwitz, great pass, and you see the outcome as Antonio Angizola finds a way through. 10-8 lead for the Stunners. Angizola will serve. And we talked about during the last broadcast, Nick and I, just so many international players, you know, Peru, Brazil, obviously so many from the Caribbean, Mexico, Canada,
Puerto Rico, Cuba.
Puerto Rico. It's not just the U.S., but can't forget Central America as Angizola out of Panama. It's really nice to see this league embracing the talent here in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, volleyball is obviously a very global sport, and it is good to see some of this talent come into our
free ball opportunity, a net violation. Oh no, I take it back. It's a back row attacker. And you see the reaction from Shane Beamer like, I disagree.
One of those plays where the up ref's got the best angle of any part of that ball going over the net or not.
Rattray with the big serve. Chappell'e just misses long, right in front of the line judge who had the best view in the house.
Yeah, that one almost hit him in the foot as it sailed out of bounds long, but he did have the best angle and made a good call. Chappell'e cooling off a little bit, but He's been a huge factor so far in this match.
Rattray, Ramirez runs it down and then poked back. What a great play by the center. He goes right side as Emery gets the swing in. From the back row, Rattray delivers, and it's 12-10.
Rattray really starting to get fired up. That was a huge serve. Give credit to the Stunners who were able to get a hittable ball up there on that pursuit play, but then Rattray comes flying out of the back row again in transition for a strong kill and a point.
And the Ramblers have started to turn this around, a 2-point lead after they trailed initially. And there you see the leadership of the setter, Stephen Duho, taking the ball from Rattray there in the stoppage and play so he can't get cold. But it doesn't work as Rattray misses short. Took a little something off of that one.
Always kind of curious to know, what the thought process is there after making a good serve to kind of go to that roll shot serve. But let's see what Beamer does. I think he's going to go two-handed toss with a hard hybrid float.
That's a great float by Beamer. Even a better set in a difficult spot. And there's a huge argument here. The line official says it was in, and the Stunners completely disagree. You see the animated reaction from Chris Chappell'e.
Once again, the line judge had a pretty good angle right there. It came right in front of him. There's no challenge system here, and there's no instant replay. So unless the up ref is going to overturn it, which you're thinking he had a better angle, I don't think so. He's going to go with that call, and I think that was a good call. I thought that ball was in.
Well, can Vegas capitalize? Aguillard will serve. Not here.
Ramblers needed that one. They created a little momentum on their side, and that one just lets the wind right out of the sails.
Fun match so far, despite been a little one-sided on the win-loss column, but still a fun match to watch. Dylan Emery leaves it short, 2-point lead for Las Vegas, which, by the way, would be a great location for a future tournament.
Indeed.
Big power nearly eats up the Stunners. Aguillard, oh, he finds a way through.
That was Chappell'e on the left there, but what a set from Dylan Emery. The opposite hitter for the Stunners, just going running reverse bump set all the way across the court. A hittable ball that turned into a perfect set for Chappell'e to get the kill.
Yeah, I misspoke. It was Chappell'e all the way. The great bump set from the back row by the other outside. And now serving is Chappell'e. And over on two, sneaky play. Then blocked back, keeping it alive. No look by Dennis. Good rally so far, blocked back again. Ramirez runs it down. And they'll send it over to extend the play. One more time. And we talked about the value of getting Sean Dennis involved, and he was involved in every aspect of that play.
Yeah. Got to get the 6'11" middle blocker touching the ball a little bit more and set him too in transition. Let him swing away high and deep like he's been doing and get that point for your squad.
Well, like any construction crew, you see Chappell'e wiping up the wet spot on the floor and everybody standing around watching. A scene you see on every highway in the United States. I mean, like, that's the way it is in Jersey. I'm assuming that's the way it is in Cali.
I've seen some of that in Southern California recently too.
Schickling the serve. And slotting it through the block as Angizola once again gets the much needed side out.
Yeah, just coming in like a freight train, attacking the line blocker, Stephen Duho, the undersized blocker of the two, and just driving that ball off his hands and out of bounds.
Very quietly, Antonio Aguizola has had a huge impact on this match. Oh, and talking about impact, Rattray hearing his name again as he puts it away to prevent the tie. And we reach our second technical timeout. 16-14, the Ramblers gotta have this set. They trailed or they led 2-0 yesterday and nearly got reverse sweep before coming back to win. And we'll see if they can get that reverse sweep here. They need to win this set. And, you know, they have a 4-0 record, a lot of pride amongst these guys in a short season to want to remain undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as this season progresses, the records are going to speak volumes about the squads. And if you can show that you're an undefeated team, obviously that carries some street credit around here in the National Volleyball Association. But right now, you know, the Ramblers, even though up by 2, it's not going to take much for the Stunners to kind of come back and, you know, score a couple of real points or create some problems from the inline. They're blocking defense. You know, I'm not really sure, but again, some high-level volleyball on both sides, entertaining volleyball to say the least, and still just happy to be involved and seeing some such high-level, great volleyball here on the Memorial Day weekend from Atlantic City.
Yeah, this is an absolute privilege for me. Again, I've been calling collegiate volleyball in this part of the country for the better half of 2 decades. You know, I played high school, played a little college club. It's so different, though. You know, I remember as a college club player, you know, you do it because you love it. There's just not playing for a varsity program. My best friend played for the Pepperdine club team, and we'd go out to, oh my God, Huntington Beach, I think it was. And you come from the East Coast thinking that you could play the game and you learn pretty quickly. No, you can't. Talk about being humbled.
Kudos and credit to you for going down to Huntington and trying to pick up some games while you were from the East Coast.
Well, we're out in California. You know, we're not 21. So you're not going to go to a bar. So what do you do as a college kid? You go play some beach and get yourself smashed the other way. As that is going to fall in. He got a hand on it. Oh, Angizola. They're going to have a conversation to see if that was touched. But full credit there to Antonio Angizola. They don't get the result, but you love the hustle.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, laying out, one of those things, it's a lot of action. You know, you get big bodies driving around on the floor, and split second, you know, did the hand get underneath the ball? We'll never know, but the refs changed that call, and point goes to the Ramblers. But definitely give credit to Antonio for selling out for his teammates.
By the way, I mentioned Pepperdine. Don't want to be biased. There's one school over another, but that is the most beautiful campus I have ever been on in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty nice there in the hills of Malibu overlooking the Pacific Ocean, but
that would be a heck of a place to play. And obviously Pepperdine, one of the better programs in NCAA Division I. UC Santa Barbara, another beautiful campus. So many beautiful places to go to school and play volleyball in California. Woo, what a block there is Rattray.
Rattray says Westwood's not too bad either.
Not at all. And Aguillard, the Long Beach product, involved as well, and a 4-point lead as Vegas. Nick England's squad has found an answer here in Game 3.
Yeah, nice little turn of events as you and I are talking about college campus geography and whatnots, but Ramblers putting a little run together there. Fortunate on that overturn ruling by the up ref of that pancake that gave the points back over to the Ramblers and the ball, and they've taken full advantage of that as a couple of blocks and some strong serves now build a 4-point lead as we kind of inch closer here to the business end of game number 3.
And as these teams talk it over, we'll see if the Stunners, they've found the answers so far this weekend. We'll see if they are able to bounce back here in Game 3 or if the Vegas Ramblers are going to make them work for this win. And I would imagine the Ramblers, these changes they've made have been good so far. You saw a big high five there on the sideline between the setter Steve Duho and head coach Nick England. I do have to shamefully admit, by the way, I've never been to Long Beach State. I'm going to have to change that. Oh, Rattray puts it away.
We'll have to get you inside the pyramid for a match. That's one of the best stadiums in the country to watch volleyball in for sure.
I'm almost ashamed to admit I've never been there. I'm gonna have to find, that's going to have to be corrected. I've also never been to Fenway Park, and that's getting fixed this summer as well. This is the summer of making up for your sports sins. Right side, big swing, dug up by the Stunners. Another chance here, Rattray. No, not this time.
You see a big sense of urgency from both sides now as we get to 20-15 in this set number 3. I think Stunners would love to steal this match in 3. Ramblers obviously trying to extend level, getting stepped up here.
The Stunners, they have a very consistent player here in Antonio Angizola serving. Yeah, a huge foot fault. I just jinxed him. Consistent until he stepped a full foot over the line.
We have seen a few foot faults throughout the weekend so far. I've got about 15 feet there, but these are some big athletes. They're tossing the ball high up in the air and really trying to get full advantage on that serve from the inline. So
I'm frankly surprised by the number of foot faults I've seen, and it's by some players that are at the highest level. And I know they're trying to generate a lot of power on these swings, but you're just giving it away when you do that. Big serve, could be a free ball. No, that is blocked back. First time we've seen Beamer blocked here, and that has allowed Vegas, as it was Antoine Aguillard with the hands. I think Schickling was involved, but it's a 6-point lead. And this is a big one here for Vegas. They had to have this set. They get the ace. The man who you thought would answer has.
Yeah, Rattray's really upped his level here. A couple of big kills in transition. And that's a massive jump serve ace that's well needed right now for the Ramblers and gives them a 7-point lead now late in the set.
Not even seeing a smile from Rattray.
Leaves
that one short. Yeah, all business for sure. He's played pro, you said, overseas in Spain, and so many of these guys have had that international experience for multiple years. And to be able to play domestically, and we talked about how valuable that's going to be going forward for volleyball in the United States. Big serve, off balance, but put away. There's the man who came in, Ryan Mather, with the answer on the right side, set point for Vegas.
Yeah, big response there by the 6'8" opposite, Ryan Mather out of Redondo Beach, California. Ramblers need him to produce some points for sure. They missed him through that first part of the first set, and obviously the whole second set as he was sort of trying to find himself, but I think he's back now, and that was what they like to see out of him.
Aguillard serving for the set. Take something off of it. Can Vegas run something here? It is blocked back. Second chance, they switch sides, and that's coming this way. And that will end set number 3 as Vegas, with their backs up against the wall, find the answer. 25-17. It is a 2-1 lead now for OC.
Great response there by Las Vegas Ramblers. We saw them with their backs up against the wall, going down 0-2. Came out, kind of battled back and forth, weathered a couple storms. I'm going to go back to the one play that tended to, I think, really turn it around for them was the pancake that got overturned by the up ref that then gives the ball back awarded to the Ramblers, so they were able to kind of create that run that really pushed them. It kind of propelled them back to a 4 or 5 point cushion to finish that third set.
It would be interesting to see the hitting percentages between the second and third set. The Stunners were able to keep Vegas off balance quite a bit. Game 1, yes, but Game 2 especially, I thought. But Vegas was much more efficient in that third set.
Yeah, absolutely. Branden Rattray also came in big time at the end of that third set with a few key kills at the end of that set, and also an ace and a few other transitional kills as well to kind of, once again, propel the Ramblers to that set win.
Yeah, Branden Rattray certainly has had help from other members of the Ramblers, but if Vegas is able to bounce back here and maybe try to force this reverse sweep, Branden Rattray must be an essential part of this offense.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Ira. Obviously, it's expected that he's going to carry a large load offensively and from the inline. But look at Sean Dennis as well and Antoine Aguillard to continue to make an impact out of the middle. And then again, to talk about Ryan Mather, the opposite for the Ramblers, who was sort of he was a non-factor in Game 2. He came in Game 3, made an impact, and now in Game 4, looked for the same thing and yeah, the Ramblers are going to have to force a 5-game, marathon here if they want to pull out a match win. So,
well, we talked about the changes that Vegas made that allowed them to get over the hump there in the third set. Do you see any changes needed for the Stunners, or are you content with what they already have on the court?
Well, look, I think it was sort of expected that the Ramblers would come back and win that match. They don't want to get swept, right? So the Stunners, although they might have had a little lull in their energy level after coming out with such emotion and power and aggressiveness in the first 2 sets, I look for Coach Adams to kind of really fire his team up and say, look, we don't need to win in 3. A win in 4 is almost as good. Let's get the win no matter what. Let's go back to what we did early on, which means pressure from the inline and block and defense, right? Those 2 key factors together really propelled the Stunners to get those early leads in games 1 and 2, and that's what they'll need to do in game 4 also.
Obviously, the blocking game absolutely carried the Stunners yesterday in their sweep of the Matadors. Vegas, I think, has just too many offensive weapons to be able to block at that same level. But they've done a nice job of finding ways to get touches even when they've kind of had to make those quick reactionary plays. So we are almost set here for game number 4. Ira Thor, along with Matt Prosser here I almost said in Vegas. Oh my, I wish I was in Vegas. Here in Atlantic City. Atlantic City was the original Vegas, quite frankly, because, for those who don't know, it was really the first place in the country that had casinos seaside. It was the first real big seaside resort town in the country, from folks from New York and also Philadelphia, which isn't terribly far away. And over the years, it's lost a little bit of its luster as gambling and resorts and casinos have popped up in Vegas and other parts of the country. But my God, it's really nice to see the reemergence of Atlantic City as a destination. And volleyball here in Jersey, certainly a way to help it.
Yeah, so a couple of that's a great point, Ira, about Atlantic City. We're excited to be here. Obviously, this is my first time in Atlantic City. But as we kind of get back to action here, a couple of changes here by the Stunners. You see Corey Chavers come in. That's number 6. He's going to be playing outside hitter. We saw him yesterday. He's the UC Santa Barbara Gaucho alumni. He's played, I think, the last 2 seasons professionally in Italy. Made a huge impact yesterday. And also Joey Jarvis, the Canadian outside hitter, as well as Jair, the opposite. So we've gone back to the lineup that we saw yesterday with, although Ramirez is still setting for the Stunners, as Chavers' first swing is up against a 3-man block, and Rattray, Aguilar, and Mather gets a strong, well-formed block to prevent Chavers from getting his first point of this 4th set.
Chavers, a second-team All-American as a senior at UC Santa Barbara during the 2019 season, getting his opportunity, and 1-0 Vegas in front. And Amado, who himself was an All-American that year, a second-teamer, gets the winner.
Little Long Beach State versus Long Beach State middle blocker challenge going on between Nick Amado and Antoine Aguilar there.
Amado, by the way, was a second-team All-American, since we're talking about collegiate honors, in back-to-back years in 2019 and 2018. That is run down, free ball, and that will be on the highlight reel for years. Branden Rattray, that ball comes back and you just see a firecracker ready to happen.
Yeah, big overpass attack by Branden there. It's his turn to go serve. But Ramblers making a statement here at the beginning of the set, saying that we will not roll over, but we have to put up a fight.
Rattray misses long. And of course we have the new libero in Joshua Eisenberg out of Sacred Heart. But Long Beach, New York, he's basically a local product. Long Beach, New York, maybe about 2.5, 3 hours away, depending on traffic, which is nowhere near as bad as in Los Angeles, but it's still something to behold. I'm sure he's got some local fans, and an All-American himself. Honorable mention back during the 2017 season and in 2018. So they go outside, and the block is intact. I didn't think at first they were going to credit it, but the block is down. combination of Dennis and Mather getting it done.
Yeah.
And Vegas, well, they're continuing where they left off.
Yeah, Joey Jarvis's first swing of his match blocked into his back off of Mather, so give the point to the Ramblers. Unfortunately, Antoine follows that up with a missed serve into the net. Hate to see that happen, as now we'll see Nick West come in as the other middle blocker, so this is his first action of the match as well. Coach Adams doing the rare 5-man substitution between sets, keeping everyone out except for the setter.
So they push it outside, and the decision pays off. A double block by West and Santiago.
6'8" and 6'10", going up against Ryan Schickling at 6'3". It's going to be a big challenge for Schickling to get the ball through that block.
And Jared Jarvis, he's only 6'4", but he can fly as well. And 5'4", your score, but starting to see a little bit more life out of this Stunner squad that did get cold their latter parts of set number 3. It's really nice to be able to have so many pieces, to have a deep bench where you can really have the next man up and get the result. Realizing that he was in front of the 10-foot line, he couldn't swing.
A net violation.
Yeah, net violation. Good decision there, though, by Mather, recognizing where he was on the court.
Yeah. We couldn't hear the whistle blowing from the down referee on the other side of the court, but I think the block of the Ramblers as they came down and turned, someone touched the net, which negated that opportunity for him.
Jair Santiago, the 6'10" product, Corozal, Puerto Rico. Right down the line. Chalk it up.
Wow. First serve of the match for Jair. He'd been sitting on the bench for the last hour and a half. He comes in and just bombs a jump serve down the line. Catches Schickling to his left, and the ace on the board for Jair and the Stunners.
To be able to come off the bench basically cold and do that, pretty special. Another big toss. Rattray able to contain that one.
Ooh.
Oh, and coming from the back row, Mather delivers.
Mather answers right back. Nice to see him getting going. Ramblers need him to produce if they want to have an opportunity to win this match, or at least force a Game 5.
The 6'7" native of Redondo Beach, California delivers. Ryan Schickling, he'll serve. 6-6 your score in Game 4. From the back row, and Corey Chavers delivers.
Yeah, you'll see Corey Chavers. He'll hit from the front row and the back row all the way around. He is constantly an offensive weapon for the Stunners. We saw him. He's a great jumper, highly athletic, and able to really get behind the ball strongly.
So first chance to see Jared Jarvis out of Toronto, Canada. Serving here. Good pass for Vegas. Run down by Eisenberg and sent over by Ramirez. They go back outside, and that's going to fall in off of the block.
Jared prefers Joey. It's okay, though. We're going off different notes, so just want to make sure that you don't get yelled at by any of those fans out there that are watching that might be saying, "Who's Jared Jarvis?" We all know him as Joey.
I go by the birth names, so don't hit up my Twitter as that is put away. And Chavers, he's come in and immediately paid dividends as we reach our first technical timeout in another really competitive set. I'm loving watching this action as both teams are going back and forth. True seesaw battle.
Yeah, so super interesting to see the coaching move from Coach Adams of the Stunners, right? The difference of personnel that finished Game 3 to started Game 4 is entirely different except for the setter, Ramirez. You have one new middle blocker in Nick West, okay? Nick Amado stayed in. You have Jair Santiago playing opposite. You've got Corey Chavers, who is a strong outside hitter, one of the best outside hitters in the National Volleyball Association, who's been on the bench now in. and you've even got a new libero. Sorry, I'm blanking on his name right now, but Eisenberg, who's been playing professionally in Israel as a libero as well. So just to be able to see the flip-flop in personnel and to maintain the level, right? It's almost like round of stunners number 2 coming at you, right? The Ramblers got to be a little bit taken aback. This is the lineup that they probably expected to see and did their scouting on, but to be down for the Ramblers 2-1 and now have to go against the team that they thought they would see at the beginning of the match, that's got to be a little bit disheartening for them.
What that tells me, having seen all these teams for the first time this weekend live, is that the Stunners have the deepest bench in the entire league.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
Oh, Rattray. What else can you say? And he's expressionless. Business-like is the term you use, but my God, he's unstoppable when he's on.
He's got a heavy arm. He can get on the ball quick. Jair didn't have a chance to get ready and set to dig that ball.
Rattray just delivers so much power. We'll see if the Stunners can answer. Was there a touch? There was. Yep. As Santiago comes through from the back row.
Jair making a nice adjustment on that set, was a little bit low and fast, and he was able to kind of speed up his approach and aim for the high hands and score the point.
And that was one of the situations you actually heard the touch, as that is left very short. It's hard to hear in here. It's probably the best environment you could hope for, have this level of noise on a Saturday here in Jersey, but there's so much force in that swing, you could hear the tip of the net. Made it very easy for the officials.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. Blistering serve by Rattray. Santiago just sends it over. Rattray from the back row is blocked back. It'll fall in. Amado, a big part of that. He had some help from Chavers as well.
As a middle blocker, you love to see a bick coming at you because you don't have to move, really. Maybe just take one little skip step over, but you can get your hands straight over the net because you're already respecting their middle blocker, and Nick Amado is one of the best out there blocking those bick attacks.
Chavers, delayed call, he gets it. Chavers with the ace, and the Stunners will lead 11-9.
Great serve there by Corey Chavers.
Can Chavers do it again? No, leaves it short. So serving here for Vegas, they trail by 1. It'll be Antoine Aguillard. From the back row, Chavers with the tip. That's covered by Mather. Rattray rejected.
Another 3-man block on the bick. Stunners being disciplined blockers and doing some really good work up there.
And I know that Rattray is your number 1 option, but perhaps you need to mix it up a little bit more here, Matt.
Yeah, especially in transition, I think it's key that you keep your front row hitters involved. Can only go to the well so many times.
And that helps as they go to Ryan Mather, and he delivers. And he'll go back to serve after dropping that one in. It's still a 1-point lead for the Stunners. They lead 2-1, trying to improve to 2-0 on the weekend after an 0-3 start to the year. Eisenberg able to get a good pass after that one. Roll shot by Jarvis. They go outside, blocked, back out of bounds.
Schickling.
Yeah, Schickling was able to, even with the hands turned in, able to hit it with enough torque there to get it to fall in. So 12-12.
Great attack line by Ryan right there, going against 6'10" Jair Santiago. He kind of goes high hands, aiming almost for the rafters a little bit as the undersized blocker. It's a really underknown and underrated skill as a smaller outside hitter to be able to attack the bigger blockers.
That time it's blocks back. They go right back to Santiago, and he leaves it short. And for the first time, Vegas got themselves back in front, 13-12.
Ramblers doing well to hold their own against, you know, sort of this second team that we've seen the the Stunners put in.
Mather serving again, and he's a delivering ace.
Big ace, well-timed ace by Ryan Mather.
And a big swing here, 4 in a row for Vegas. Mather off the tape, clipped the antenna, fell back in his side anyway, so it won't matter. And a crucial side out for the Stunners, but good run by Mather. You talked about
bit of a head scratcher on that one. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But.
He's going to miss him now and then. But I'll tell you what, he's probably been the most important substitution in this match so far, either side. He's come through.
I couldn't agree more.
Santiago going to try to change my mind. It's going to be a double. Rarely seen at this level, and that's certainly one that Duho would like to have back.
Yeah, unfortunately that pass didn't get quite high enough up to the tape. Duho had to go run for it and just rolled a little too far off the thumbs for that double contact.
He got underneath it, but by the time he did, it was already coming down and might have been a better platform pass situation. So we're tied again at 14. Santiago to unload. Rattray, great pass considering. And they finally go back to Dennis, and he puts it away.
Sean Dennis getting involved. Nice to see Duho keep feeding the big 6'11" middle blocker. Can't forget about those guys in the middle there.
Middles have feelings too. Ryan Schickling, his team up 1. And now up 2 as he draws the ace.
A well-timed ace from Ryan Schickling with the off-speed jump float hybrid. It brings us to our second technical timeout. Ramblers really pushing the limit here, trying to force a game 5.
And we hear that term of the hybrid jump float serve that Matt talks about. 16-14, the score here as we get to the technical. Matt, could you explain a little bit more about when you say a hybrid float, you know, what that means for our audience at home who may not know the technical aspects?
So, you know, there's 2 main serving techniques. Obviously, the jump spin serve with a high toss looks almost like a spike from the end line, right? Or like a hitting attack. Or there's this kind of two-handed, lower toss, jump float serve, right? But that jump float, sometimes I say hybrid, it means you can kind of throw a little spin on it, kind of create some English and see if you can kind of get it some movement, right? Where the old traditional standing jump float, you would hit a float serve, it would move around like a knuckleball, right, as it comes across. Well, that's kind of evolved into this jump float serve now, where it's moving around, but it's coming at a different angle and a lot faster, right? Because you're hitting a ball above the top of the net. Saying a jump hybrid means that if you're going to add a little wrist snap to it, you're going to create a little spin, not a downward top spin, but almost like a side spin. I use it a lot when I was playing on the beach because of the wind, but really just kind of keeps the passers on their toes.
In your expertise, is one serve more difficult than the other to pass?
Well, it all just depends. There's a lot of factors there. I never had to pass these indoor jump serve bombs that these guys are doing anymore, so not really sure. I can't speak for that, unfortunately.
That was a loaded question, and speaking of loaded, a big swing for the back row by the Stunners, as after the timeout, Matt, they're within 1 again, so truly a seesaw battle as Jarvis serves. Running it down, Duho, Rattray gets stuffed.
Nice form block, Nick West again, and Randy Ramirez, the setter for the Stunners, getting that nice block and tying it back up at 16 apiece.
And even at 16-16-0, I mean, I'll just say as a recreational beach player at this point in my life, I would much rather pass a jump serve than anything that's moving around, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the knuckleball floaters are definitely a little trickier, but I don't know if I'd want to take that that heat from these jump servers anymore on my arms. It'd be kind of painful.
Jarvis off the tape. Rattray this time gets it to fall. And 17-16.
Ramblers kind of keeping that lead here on that side out. It'd be nice if they could score a true point here, kind of pad their lead a little bit. Sean Dennis, he's going to get his little jump hybrid serve going here. To see him attack down the line if they serve if he could.
Goes deep corner, so aggressive. And cross court, just authority by Chavers. Cannot give enough credit there to Josh Eisenberg as he was able to change direction and run that one down and deliver a perfect pass.
Yeah, quite a play by Eisenberg there. Literally running, diving pass, gives a pass up, gives his teammate a hittable ball, and is able to deliver.
And that is long. And once again, Vegas back in front by 1. So the setter, Stephen Duho, to serve. Too long. All square again, 18 all.
A few missed serves here, a little bit of a lull in the action, if you will, with these kind of back-to-back missed serves.
Well, you mentioned it yesterday. They sometimes can compound on themselves with these back-to-back missed serves and see if one team can emerge. Rattray, that's dug up. Here's a chance, right side, Santiago. Rattray's there again. They go back to Rattray that changes up with the roll. Santiago, too wide.
Stunners are begging for a net violation. I thought I saw a net violation over there on Mather's block, but the down ref didn't see it, so give the point to the Ramblers. Santiago's attack line goes out of bounds wide, but a little bit of heat coming here, a little drama as we get closer to 20 here in game number 4.
Branden Rattray goes back to serve. We'll see how he's used out of the back as this 4th set chugs along deep here. 2-1 lead for the Stunners. Comes over on 1. Can Vegas run something? Mather connects.
Wow, credit to Rattray with that serve. That was an absolute bomb that results in an overpass. Advantage to the Ramblers as Ryan Mather scores the point with his transition kill.
Rattray, so many ways he can hurt you. Santiago is dug up. One more time to Mather, and missing. Wide, Mather gets the kill off the block. And a 3-point lead, gonna force a Stunner timeout.
Ryan Mather coming up with some big key important kills late in this 4th set. Gets his team a 3-point lead now as they reach 21. And some clutch attacking there by Ryan Mather.
Amazing how Vegas has been able to respond. Their backs against the wall. We jokingly talked about in the open, we don't want another 5-setter. As the first 2 today did go 5, but we're staring that in the face right now.
You know what, Ira? At this point, I want to see good volleyball. And if we go 5, that means this game is going to be really tight and entertaining for everyone to watch. And it's highly contested. I think that's a great thing.
I think I'd rather see a 5-setter than a bad sweep.
Agreed. Very much so. Which I thought we were about to see also after that 2nd set.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, Nick England's squad has found the answers here. The Stunners changed the lineup up, and it worked maybe for the first 7 to 10 points. And now Las Vegas may be going to give us that gift of a competitive 5-setter.
Coach England over there.
Woo! Big thunder from Rattray after the timeout, but left it short.
One of those 7 deadly sins of serving we talk about sometimes, Ira. You never want to miss your serve after a timeout, especially if it's going to be in the net like that.
That's a big time serve. Comes over on 1. Can the Stunners capitalize? They do. And it lands for a dig kill.
Ryan Manouchian, the libero for the Ramblers, just gets the ball, bounces off his hand and foot simultaneously, I think, with just the right hand. Some love comes across.
That's amazing.
Some libero love right there.
Josh Eisenberg comes over and gives love to his counterpart on the other side. Wow. Ryan Manouchian. You don't get your name in the box score too often as a libero with the kill, but that's a highlight for sure.
It has made his event right there, but followed up by a service error, unfortunately.
I thought Corey Shavers was landing that kill, and Ryan had other ideas.
Okay, here. Nick Amado now back to serve. 20 serving 22. Schickling with the pass.
They go right side. Mather. Dug up by Ramirez. And he got the touch.
Yep, Santiago with a clutch kill in transition. Getting the touch high off the hands. Brings the Stunners back within one.
Rattray couldn't pull him back fast enough. And Amado going to try to tie it up. Roll shot. Ramirez there again. Little tight to the net. Poked back. Ramirez goes to Santiago. Oh, with the thunder.
Jair with a huge swing down the line in transition. This time squeezing it past Schickling, the 6'3" blocker at the pin, and getting it in front of Manouchian. No such luck on that ricochet kill again from the libero that time, but you see Coach England going to call a quick timeout and have a short chat with his squad here on how to best strategize on their blocking defense now and how they can hopefully pull out this set 4 victory.
What an answer for the Stunners. A mental mistake by Rattray touching a ball that probably was going to be out. I don't know, in his vantage point, did he think there was perhaps a touch? But that's a turning point here in the fourth because it's a 2-point swing. And now the Stunners, they are starting to collect themselves. Santiago getting involved with a big hammer. And now it's a race to 3.
Yeah, the Stunners have themselves in a great rotation right now with Jair Santiago, the opposite hitter on the right side for the Stunners, going up against Ryan Schickling, the undersized outside hitter for the Ramblers. You've got 6'10" Santiago going against 6'3" Schickling. So look for that to really be exposed here for the next few points. But also you've got Joey Jarvis and Nick West. So good, strong front line for the Stunners. Nick Amado going back to serve now.
Nick Amado trying to give his team back the lead late here, and he does the ace. High
Clutch.
off the hands of Schickling.
Clutch ace there by Nick Amado. Middle blocker getting an ace and the 23rd point for the Stunners. Schickling just getting that one caught up high, not sure if it was going in or out. And meanwhile, the Ramblers have Rattray in the back row, which is an unfortunate rotation for them to be in.
Another ace, back to back for Amado. And just like that, a 4-point swing, and the Stunners will have match point after the Vegas timeout.
That's a nice little jump float serve that Nick Amado developed during his college days at Long Beach State. You saw him use it a lot in their, back-to-back run as national championships. Unfortunately, it comes at the hands of Ryan Schickling right now and the Ramblers as he's gotten ace twice in a row. But man, what a turn of events now. Stunners at match point. Nick Amado back to serve. If I'm the Ramblers coach, I'm just trying to say, let's just pass the ball up in the middle of the court, see if we can get the ball to either Mather in the front row overhead or Rattray. We've got 6'11" Sean Dennis, middle front. Let's get him involved. He's got a pretty good hitting percentage throughout this game as well. So first thing first, though, got to pass the ball.
Nick Amado, one of many guys on the Stunners who could be the man of the match. I'll tell you that much. He's got back-to-back aces. Can he close it out? It'll be a great win for OC. Amado covers the swing from the right side. And that will fall in for Santiago. Is it over? It is. And the OC Stunners have pulled off the stunner. They rally to win set number 4, 25-22, and they score the final 5 points to do so, Matt.
Yeah, quite a well-played match by both teams, you know, minus the first maybe set and a half for the Ramblers, but really give credit to the Stunners who came out of the gates hard and fast and then did a full team swap after that third set. So really interesting to see the depth of their lineup and their personnel to come back and be able to pull off that fourth game victory. Credit over to the Ramblers to fight like they did. They didn't go down after that second match and cash it in. They really decided that they were going to step up and try to fight back, and they did. But the size and physicality of the Stunners and really the depth of their bench kind of won it for them as that match went on.
Who do you think's our most valuable player of that one? So many ways we could go.
You know, that's a great question. I'm thinking that the setter for the Stunners.
Maybe Randy Ramirez?
Randy Ramirez, since he didn't get a chance to play last night.
I mean, we spoke to a setter yesterday, I believe. So
I know, but he was the only guy that played the entire match for the Stunners. So
that's amazing, the depth that they have, that 2 days in a row. We're going to go talk to a setter. So we'll grab Randy Ramirez. I'll allow you to give a little match synopsis, and I'll go get our man of the match.
Sounds great, Ira. All right. So as we go round up Randy Ramirez, MVP of the match, we're just going to take a quick little technical timeout so we can get set up for that. We'll be right back.
We're here with our most valuable player of the match, the starting set, Randy Ramirez. You guys were able to fight off a Vegas squad that was really trying to force a fifth set for the second time in a row. And to do so, you actually switched your entire lineup. Can you talk about the strategy involved?
Yeah, I mean, Coach trusts every single one of us in the team. He gave the opportunity to everyone to start. Everyone did a great job. And it's about, you know, keeping our team together, becoming stronger every single game. And today we were able to do that. Hopefully we can keep doing that.
There were so many people on the team that played a role in this win today. What do you think was the most important factor? Yesterday, it was clearly the blocking game that set the Matadors off balance. But today, so many different things you could point to. What do you, in your mind, was the most important?
It was definitely our energy. We came out strong. Every time we have our energy on, our game is on. And we just need to work on keeping the energy all throughout the game and not let it happen like the third game where we came down our energy and we lost the game. So it's definitely our energy.
I think the entire league is now on alert that the depth of the Stunners is stunning. So many people can hurt you. Is that the biggest virtue of this team? Or is there something else we haven't seen yet that's really going to make you guys really dangerous down the stretch?
Well, surprisingly, this is my first game with the team. I didn't even know any of the guys when I got here, but they were really nice in bringing me in and creating this team culture. So our team is really strong, and I think that's the key for us for being a strong team is our unity, our chemistry, and it's like a family. Everyone enjoys being around each other.
And really, the last question is: you guys just knocked Vegas from the ranks of the unbeaten, and you did so in your debut with the squad. How good does that feel to be able to knock a team that was 4-0, had a big win yesterday over Utah, and knock them out of the win column?
I mean, it can't feel any better than this. I mean, I was hoping for something like this to to get on the right foot with the guys, and we were able to do that, and hopefully we can keep building on it.
Well, congratulations to the win, Randy Ramirez. He set the entire match, and the Stunners pick up the 3-1 victory. Congratulations. I'll send it back to Matt.
Awesome, Ira. Thank you so much. Great synopsis there from MVP in the match. And at this time, we're just going to take a quick break as we prepare for our next match of the Texas Tyrants against LA Blaze here, starting up in probably the next 15 to 20 minutes. That'll be our 4th match of the day. So come on back and make sure you catch more NVA action from Atlantic City.